What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and I'm back to talk about the 2021 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. The competition started on Sunday, and it's now Thursday, where we're going into the second match day of fixtures. In the first round of fixtures, guys, I can't say it was the most exciting round. We only had one game that had a 2-1 win. That was Cameroon first match. And all the other games were either 1-0 or 0-0. Not very exciting, but I expect things to actually pick up as the tournament progressed, as teams came into the tournament very, let's say, conservative, very defensive. They just wanted to sit back. They didn't want to open up too much, and hence the reason why we've seen such little amount of goals. And I think a few teams have been very impressive, and some teams that we expected to be impressive has not looked good so far, but it's still young. It is still young. I have to say, for me, Cameroon and Nigeria have been the most impressive teams so far at the tournament. And the debutant, of course, Gambia. They look good. They really look good. So, look, without further ado, let's get into today's review. And just to touch on the games from Group E and Group F, because I am yet to talk about those ones. And just to touch on the matches that's coming up later today. I think we got games from Group A, if I'm not mistaken. So, without further ado, let's get into the content. But before we do, guys, don't forget today's stream is brought to you by the lovely folks over at manscaped.com, who are the best in below-the-waist men's grooming. The Performance Package 4.0 could make your New Year's resolution a much better one. Trust me. Because you got to take care of yourself. You really got to take care of yourself. You got to pamper yourself. You got to treat yourself. And you have to actually invest in yourself. Okay? So if you have a New Year's resolution, you add this to it. Guys, possibilities are endless. Trust me. Trust me. Confidence is everything. And the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 definitely helps you to enhance that. So use the coupon code Dominic Rich to get yourself 20% off each and every one of your orders. All the links will be in the description box down below. Don't forget, Dominic Rich, 20% off all your orders. Links in the description box down below. Trust me, your balls would thank you. So let's take a look at what's going on here so far in the AFCON. You see Cameroon, Burkina Faso. That was a big game. The only game that's seen more than one goal, basically, right? Any draws we've had has been 0-0 draws. See, Ethiopia 0, Cabo Verde 1, Senegal 1, Zimbabwe 0, Guinea 1, Malawi 0, Morocco 1, Ghana 0. And while these teams have lost their games, they didn't look too bad. That's the thing. So the tournament is still very unpredictable despite us having, some big wins and a few upsets here and there. Comoros 0, Gabon 1, Algeria 0, Sierra Leone 0. That's one of the upsets so far the tournament. Nigeria 1, Egypt 0, Sudan 0, Guinea-Bissau 0. And the games that we're going to talk about today: Tunisia 0, Mali 1. We're going to leave that one for last. Mauritania 0, Gambia on debut. Their first ever African Cup of Nations match ended in a win. So you got to give it up to the smallest nation on the African continent, Gambia. Equatorial Guinea 0 and Ivory Coast 1. The star-studded Ivorian team, in my opinion, could have done a lot better. And Equatorial Guinea must feel very unlucky that they didn't pick up a point, because they really did create a lot of chances. Look, tomorrow we got Cameroon. Well, today, I should say, we got Cameroon coming up against Ethiopia and Cape Verde playing Burkina Faso in a big clash in Group A. We'll talk about those ones briefly very, very soon. So let's talk about these games. I won't be too long today, to be honest, because right now over in New York, where I'm from, it's very late. It's actually 3:17 a.m. You guys see I'm up late, you know what I mean? I'm a father and everything. I have a job, and, you know, things doesn't always work out, you know, in terms of getting the time to make the video and everything the way I want to do it. So let's touch on this one. Mauritania nil, Gambia 1. What a match. What a match. This was quite a entertaining game, I have to say, with Abli Jallo scoring in the 10th minute, set up by Musa Barrow. And that was a very good goal early in the match. And Gambia held on for their first ever win at the African Cup of Nations. That was actually the debut game, and they start off perfectly. I have to say, I'm very impressed with this team, though. Even though Mauritania had most of the ball, a lot of shots at goal, a lot of them were just wasteful. And when you have Abubakar Kamara as your striker or as one of your main forwards, you're in a lot of problems in terms of getting goals, because the former Fulham man is just renowned for not being clinical, in my opinion. So look, Mauritania, they ended up getting 20 shots at goal, 2 on target with 61% of the ball, compared to Gambia's 8 shots, 3 on target, 39% of the ball. I think it was one time Mauritania came close when the goalkeeper had to really tip the ball over. But on other occasions, they were really, really wasteful in front of goal. So I think, look, Gambia look very good going forward. They have some players that's playing in the Italian league, and in Coley and Barrow, and there's Cisse Jallo. The team got some quality, man. The team really got some quality, and I think Job was very resolute in goal, and the entire team just put together a very, very quality performance on their debut AFCON game. So you gotta really keep an eye on this team as the tournament progresses, because they look good. I think they could have got more than one goal if they actually just kept their poise and made better decisions in the final third. But, you know, tournament jitters, I have to say. Little nervousness there, and that may have been shaken off after the 90 minutes was played. A win for Gambia is a perfect start, and I didn't expect them to win the game, to be honest, but they did so, and we have to keep an eye on this team going forward. They are definitely potential underdogs going forward in this tournament right here. So big up to Gambia. I think, you know, they played well enough to deserve the win, and the next game would be a very, 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 very big test to see if they could continue in this vein of form. And with that being said, they come up against Mali, who are one of the better teams in Africa this day and age. And then the last game is against Tunisia. So the fact that they started with 3 points and Tunisia failed to pick up any against Mali, that's the perfect way. I think you could get through to the round of 16 with 3 points. It's going to be very close. So all they need to do is to get a draw, get something against one of Tunisia or Mali, and I think Gambia are through to the next round. As for Mauritania, look, they're on the back foot so far. Not a very good start to the tournament, and it would be a Arab derby because, you know, Arab nation in Mauritania and Tunisia in the next game. Tunisia, they have to respond after that loss to Mali. Mauritania, they need something. More than likely, Tunisia will win that game and may eliminate Mauritania, because coming up against Mali, I'm telling you, I don't know, man. I don't know. The final game is against Mali. So, look, right about now, Mali in the driver's seat. You have Gambia doing well. And if those teams continue picking up positive results, they're through. Tunisia would have to grind if they are to make it to the next round. So, it's my thoughts on that game. All the best to both teams going forward. If you have anything to add, please do so in the comment section down below. We'll definitely appreciate that. So we're going to go right back to the matches, and we're going to touch on the next one. Equatorial Guinea nil from Group E. I told you we'll leave the Tunisia Mali one for last because that one has the most talking points, really. Big controversial moments in that game. So Equatorial Guinea nil, Ivory Coast 1, courtesy of an early strike by Max-Alain Gradel. Brilliant goal, man. Poor clearance. I think there was actually a foul in the build-up. Gradel on the Equatorial Guinea player, but it wasn't given on VAR review. And it was a kind, layoff from the opposition player to Gradel. Brilliant goal in the 5th minute. I have to say that must have been one of the best goals of his career. But after that, I think Ivory Coast was a bit flat up until the introduction of Wilfried Zaha and Nicolas Pepe towards the end of the game, where they injected some life into the match. But overall, I think Sebastian Haller, if you hear me, had a poor game. Maxwell Cornet didn't really, cast a spell over the match too much. Frank Kessier, okay, it's weird that he shaved his head. Wasn't expecting to see that. Jean-Michel Seri was very, very busy, and Conan, the left back, very wasteful from what I could recall. Sangare in goal was a busy man. Let's just put it that way. Was a very, very, very busy man, because Equatorial Guinea, I think, after conceding, created some damn good chances, and they should have scored at least one. This game, in my opinion, should have ended in a draw. I know Ivory Coast looks very, very impressive on paper, right? Take a look at the lineup here and you see exactly what I'm talking about. Look, you're talking about Jean-Michel Seri, Eric Bailly, Simon Deli, Ibrahim Sangare, Frank Kessier, Sebastian Haller, Max-Alain Gradel. You're talking about Maxwell Cornet, Zaha off the bench, Pepe, Seri Dia, Christian Kouame. These are big names. Patrice Boumel has a star-studded team to his disposal. And look, the win is a great result, but the scoreline doesn't tell the true story of the match. Emiliano Ensu had to score. He had to score. 1v1 with the keeper. Very, very, very poor execution there. And there was a few other chances, a good ball in behind that was well defended by Ivory Coast. And I think Equatorial Guinea, being a very gritty team and very resolute as well going forward, very skillful, and I have to say very technically gifted outfit. You can just see the way they handle the ball and they move the ball, and they just had Ivory Coast on the ropes at times. So quality performance, in my opinion. I think they were unlucky not to at least get a point. I think their performance warranted at least a point, but you don't always get what you deserve. And Ivory Coast, they got to do better. They're a team that's full of talent, but they just can't, they don't have that cohesiveness, in my opinion. But they could change that all in this tournament and go on to make a deep run. So, guys, let me know if you think the Elephants of the Ivory Coast would actually put out some more convincing performances, or would you think they would continue to scrap it out throughout the tournament? For Equatorial Guinea, look, the future looks bright for them. They did well in World Cup qualifiers, and they didn't start the tournament off too badly and were unlucky not to get anything from the game. So, in terms of the next matches here, for Equatorial Guinea, the next match is against Algeria. Remember, Algeria and Sierra Leone are the other teams in this group, and they played to a 0-0 draw. Equatorial Guinea versus Algeria is a big game. Algeria cannot repeat what they did against Sierra Leone, or they could be in trouble. They could be in jeopardy of missing out on the next round, even as defending champions. They'll go into the last game on 2 points if they draw, and 1 point if they lose, and needing a win against Ivory Coast is going to be a tough situation. For Equatorial Guinea, their final game and maybe most important game of the group will be against Sierra Leone, where they should fancy themselves beating the team making a comeback after a lengthy hiatus. You're talking about 26 years since they last made it to the Grand Continental event. So, look, for the Ivory Coast, man, their next game will be against Sierra Leone. And they can't, afford to drop points in this game. 3 more points would be key for them to move on. I think 1 point would be good enough. For Sierra Leone, they will look to pick up another point to put themselves in a great position to move on to the round of 16 by getting something against Equatorial Guinea. And then the marquee matchup at the back end of the group stage is there between the Ivory Coast and Algeria. Guys, take your picks. Who do you think will go on to top this group? I went for the defending champions, Algeria. Of course, yeah, quite predictable. Right now, I'm quite predictable. But as we learned so far, this tournament has been very unpredictable. So all the best to both teams as they continue in the tournament. Last but not least, Tunisia versus Mali. But before we do, let's just go back and let me just do a quick prediction for the games coming up tomorrow in Group A. Cameroon versus Ethiopia. Cape Verde did defeat Ethiopia narrowly 1-0 on match day 1. Cameroon defeated Burkina Faso 2-1. I'm going to go for the host Cameroon to pick up yet another win and book their place into the round of 16, most likely as the winners of the group here. I think Ethiopia, they try. You got to give them credit for making it to the tournament. But in terms of quality, it's not good enough when you compare it to Cameroon, who I think looked very good on opening day and could have scored a lot more. Abubakar had a lot of chances. I think Carlton Ikambi need to be involved a lot more. And look, I think Collins Fye had a brilliant game. Look, Cameroon, don't sleep on this team. 2017 champs, do not sleep on Cameroon. As hosts, I think they are up there amongst the favorites. Cameroon to win the game, in my opinion, 3-0. They're going to continue scoring. Not a 1-0 affair. I think this is going to have goals. Games are going to open up more as the tournament progresses. Teams are going to tire. And who knows, there might be games affected by the coronavirus. Okay, don't forget that one as well, that variable. Cape Verde versus Burkina Faso. This one of the most important games in the group. Burkina Faso has to bounce back. They did put out a very okay performance against Cameroon. I'm not going to say they were unlucky to lose. They deserved to lose the game. They weren't that good in terms of, when compared to Cameroon, but they were just okay. So Cape Verde, who I think had some good moments against Ethiopia, but they struggled to break him down. And they had some good moments, though. So Bobista, the likes of Gary Rodriguez and Julio Tavares, Kenny Rocha, Santos, these guys will look to get something against Burkina Faso here, like Bertrand Traore and co. Look, this one is very difficult to call. This one is hard to call. But Cape Verde, decent team. Burkina Faso, more than decent. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Burkina Faso here. 1-0 win. 1-0 win for the Stallions. Hard to call, but I'm going to call it 1-0 win for the Stallions. And last but not least, guys, the controversial game, Mali 1, Tunisia nil. I have to say, Tunisia deserved to lose this game. They do, because they had the opportunity in terms of equalizing from the penalty spot and failed to do so. The only goal of the game was scored by Ibrahima Kone in the 48th minute from the spot. Handball by Ilyas Skiri. I think it was a handball. He made himself bigger, very careless in the box. Maybe lost concentration there. spread himself, blocked the shot, and the goal was conceded from the penalty spot. Good penalty kick by Ibrahim Kone. Look, I think both teams, weren't at their best, but I think Mali looked a lot better. I really think they did look a lot better. Moussa Genepo looked very bright. The two Adama Traores, Nos, and the one that plays for Sheriff Tiraspol, these guys were heavily involved in the game. Amadou Haidara, Samaseku, the Bundesliga duo there. Look, the team looked good. The former Newcastle man, Masadio Haidara as well. He had a solid game, I think, from left back. So the team overall looks really, really good on paper. And they did go out there and put out a good performance. Munkoro in goal, you got to give him credit for saving that penalty, of course. And for Mali to hold on to that 1-0 win. Narrow win, but a win nevertheless. Tunisia, in my opinion, not creative enough. And I find it strange that all the North African countries have not been convincing. I'm talking about the ones that we expect to be blowing teams away. Morocco weren't that impressive in their game against Ghana. You think about the Algerian performance. You think about the performance of Egypt. They haven't really looked good. They gotta really step their game up, in my opinion. They looked average, very average. And people are saying that these North African countries do not play very well away from the region. And it could be proven to be kind of true. You see what I'm saying? They don't do well in the Western African countries, it seems. But look, Tunisia, I think they lacked the creativity on the day. They just looked like a disjointed unit. Didn't really threaten that much. And when they had the penalty to get back in the game, they failed to convert. They did get a few openings, but more or less not the performance I expected from Tunisia at all. Not at all. Look, 10 shots at goal for Mali, 1 on target, 8 shots, 3 on target for Tunisia. They did have the bulk of the ball, 56%. But look, that's just my thoughts on the game, right? The overall outcome. But the game was marred, and the game was basically a very controversial affair where this guy took the spotlight. This dude right there. You know what I'm saying? This dude took the spotlight. Okay, why is this thing not yeah, this dude right there took the spotlight. So big up to him. The referee, his name is, what's his name? Johnny Sikazwe. And shout outs to goal.com, where I'm getting this article from. The Zambian official caused controversy as he first ended the game in the 85th minute before again whistling before the 90th minute mark. Mali's 1-0 win over Tunisia saw referee Johnny Sikazwe twice blow his whistle for full time before the 90th minute in a bizarre and controversial end to the AFCON group stage clash. Zambian official Sikazwe initially blew his whistle to indicate the end of the match in the 85th minute before play resumed after the error, only for Sikazwe to blow again before the 90th minute. When he blew the whistle, it was after a very controversial red card as well given to El Bilal Torre, who had not newly too long come on the field. And I was like, 81st minute he came on the field, and he went into like a 50-50 challenge for the ball, caught the player. It was a bit late, and I don't even think it was a yellow card offense. It was just a foul. And Mr. Referee here, gotta remember his name, Johnny Sikazwe, give the man a straight red. And he himself, the player, was very surprised. He was shell-shocked. I know the Tunisian player stayed on the ground, but I was like, but what's going on here? What is going? And guys, to be honest, while watching this thing and the whole thing play out. I close my eyes. I swear to God, right? I swear I'm being 100% here. I was watching the game. I was at work. I was a bit tired. So I kind of closed my eyes. And when I opened back up my eyes, the referee blew the whistle. I was like, what the hell? And I saw that it wasn't even 98 minutes. 90 minutes, pardon me. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Because you know when you wake up, you're all dazed and you're like, what the hell? Yeah, I was like, God damn, what is going on here? So the game finished after the second mistake with around 70 seconds of normal time still on the clock, sparking outrage from Tunisia's players and coaching staff who were attempting to overturn a 1-0 deficit. The thing is, there were a lot of stoppages during the game, during the second half, I should say, and there should have at least been 4 minutes of extra time. But the referee, who I read, was actually struggling from heat exhaustion because it was really hot. It was 90 plus degrees Fahrenheit in Cameroon, and he looked like he was struggling and he just wanted the game to end, and maybe he was a bit disoriented, and I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt here because it was weird, man, because you see Sky Sports scenes. The referee blows a whistle before the 90 minutes are up. VAR checks, 2 penalties, and a red card. No stoppage time. It ends Tunisia nil, Mali 1. Yeah, look, the penalties were penalties. They were penalties. Okay, Moussa Genepo, that was a penalty when he hands the ball. Skiri, penalty. He got those right. The red card was, I don't know what's going on with that. That was not a red card. And then the fact that he blew the whistle to end the game around 85 minutes and then realized, like, whoa, it's not the time yet. And then he did it again at the 89th minute. In the 90th minute, he did it. There should have been at least some extra time. You know what I'm saying? To give Tunisia a chance to get back in the game. Didn't happen, right? And I think it was a big blunder. BN Sports, who that I used to watch the games on. Unbelievable. We've never seen this before. The referee ended the game twice before we even reached full time. First full-time whistle, 85 minutes. Second full-time whistle, 89 minutes. And you could see, a little clip there that I can show you. Goal Africa. Zambian referee, Sukazwe. Is that his name? I thought they had a different name up. Sikazwe. It says Sukazwe, you see? It says Sukazwe ended the Tunisia-Mali game 5 minutes before full time, had a rethink, resumed the game, and then blew the final whistle at 90th minute of play. You can't make this stuff up. Look, you cannot. See what I'm saying? You can't. This is a classic, man. I need to save this picture for my thumbnail as well. This is a classic. This is a classic, man. You know what I mean? Look, what do you think he was telling the assistant, right? I don't know what was going on in this referee's head at all. I really don't know, man. I really don't know. So look, I've saw that Tunisia wants the game to be replayed because, look, they went off the field. There was probably a meeting and they said they had to come back and finish the game off, right, for the last 3 minutes. But Monday Kebaya said that the players were already in the ice baths and everything, and no way they were going to come back on. And the game ended officially. Look, Tunisia, you don't deserve to win the game. You didn't play well enough. But you deserve your 3 minutes or so of extra time. I just got to give it to you. Will the game be replayed? There was suggestion that the final minutes of the match would be resumed despite the game having ended and the players having left the field. Mali coach Mohamed Magasuba had been holding a post-match press conference before it was reportedly interrupted as CAF officials contemplated the scenario of a resumption. Indeed, around 20 minutes after full time, the Mali players re-emerged onto the pitch at Limbe Stadium and were willing to see out what was left on the clock. Good stuff by Mali, you know what I mean? Good sportsmanship there to come back out. Tunisia reportedly refused, however, with the game officially ending as 1-0 for Mali. Yeah, Tunisia, you had a chance to go out, you didn't. But I understand why they didn't, you know what I mean? I really understand. But it's scenes, man, scenes very picturesque background there at the stadium. Very, you know, what should I say? A lot of forests around, mountainous area in Cameroon. You know, so yeah, man. So I could go deeper into this. This goes on very, very, goes deep into a rabbit hole. And it says Sikazwe banned in 2018. Zambian referee Sikazwe was suspended from involvement in African football back in 2018 on suspicion of corruption. Sikazwe, who also refereed at the 2018 World Cup, you gotta be kidding me. What? He refereed at the World Cup? Saw his officiating called into question during the CAF Champions League semi-final clash between Tunisia side Esperance and Angolan club Primero de Agosto. Esperance would win the game 4-2 with Sikazwe awarding a controversial penalty to the host before he later disallowed an Agosto goal. God damn. Oh, man. Look. Mr. Johnny Sikazwe is provisionally suspended from all football activities related to CAF pending a hearing before CAF disciplinary board. So he's suspended, man. The suspension took effect from November 18, but FIFA later made a decision to lift the sanction in 2019. So, yeah, man. We won't be seeing Johnny Sikazwe anymore. And the game was marred by that controversial refereeing decision. So let's not get too carried away here with that. But for Tunisia, the next game will be against Mauritania, who did lose to Gambia. So they got to step their game up, and they have Gambia on the final match day. For Mali, with that 3 points there, their next game will be against a spirited debutant in Gambia, and then they finish things off with Mauritania. Mali will make it to the next round. Mali will make it to the next round without a doubt. They will. Are they going to go on to top their group? Maybe. They beat the team that would most likely give him competition. So that's Group F. That is Group F. But I don't want to get too deep into any second round scenarios right now. We'll do that in another video. But look, that's all for now. It's 30 minutes. I don't want to make it super long, because I want to give it some value. People see 30, 40 minutes they don't want to watch. 30 minutes, I think I went a little overboard, but it's fine. We had a controversial moment, and I don't want to be, give you some bite-sized review. I want to give you depth. I want to give you substance, okay? So just thanks for your support as well. Things are picking up. Things are picking up with the AFCON. I could realize things are definitely picking up and will continue to do so as the tournament progresses. So look, guys, don't forget, today's stream is brought to you by the lovely folks over at manscaped.com, who are the best in below the waist men's grooming. Get the Performance Package 4.0, and there's a lot of accessories to choose from. The great folks over at Manscaped sent me over a nice package today with a shampoo, conditioner, the body wash, a little set with a nail clip and a foil, and a little grooming kit, a little grooming kit, and a cologne. I'll let you guys know how everything is when I do get to try them, but just know there's a lot of accessories you could get there for your self-care needs. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. That's all you, listen, that's all you really got. You, okay? So guys, all the links will be in the description box down below. Code Dominic Rich gets you 20% off plus free shipping, and your balls would thank you. So guys, from your boy Dom, until my next one, I like to say thanks for watching. Peace out. Rich Squad. The coverage of the AFCON definitely continues. Okay? Peace. I can't dance, right?